Listener's discretion is advised.
Tonight's story is about one name and one name only who is synonymous with bullying, and that is
Uh-oh.
Ken McElroy.
Ooh, never heard of him.
Me neither. Wait, it sounds familiar, the last name.
Yeah, McElroy. I don't know if you heard this, because it actually comes from a town that we've actually done a story on when we discussed Lisa Montgomery, who was executed earlier this year.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
She came from the same small town called Skidmore, Missouri.
Sounds kind of like Skid Row.
Yeah, a little bit, right? So Skidmore, Missouri is a city in Nottoway County on the upper west side tip of the state of Missouri. The city itself is only 290 acres big.
Ooh.
Wow.
So it's really tiny.
Yeah, it's really small. The population of the city at the time of our case in the year 1981 was 384 people.
Wow.
Since then, the population has been in steady decline for reasons that I will explain.
Okay.
So, but before we travel back to the birth of the 80s, let's dip into a recent history. On December 16th, 2004, Skidmore was once again the focus of a national attention when pregnant mother Bobby Jo Stinnett, a relative of Branson Perry, neighboring city of Skidmore, she was murdered in her home, and her unborn baby was cut from her stomach. Yeah. And the baby, Victoria Jo Stinnett, was found alive 2 days later in Topeka, Kansas. The killer was Lisa Montgomery, who received the federal death sentence and was executed on the morning of January 13, 2021 in the federal prison in Terre Haute, Indiana. I know I didn't pronounce that right.
Mm-hmm.
But this case was all over the news, and
Yes, it was.
We even previewed it here, and we all had different opinions when we did that show, remember?
Yes, we did.
Yes, I was very mad.
Yeah.
I was the Lone Ranger in that opinion.
Yes, exactly. If you want to listen to that episode, we have it on our archives. You guys can check it out. That's a case we did from top to bottom and gave our opinion. So that was the first type of case we did on that.
Absolutely.
So, but this case, we're going to get into a mysterious case with all kinds of twists and turns.
Oh, we love the twists.
Oh, there's plenty of twists.
Twist this.
Yes. A lot of M. Night Shyamalan or whatever. However you say his name.
Hey,
Butchered it.
M. Night Shyamalan.
There you go.
There you go, brother.
See, we all have our words we can't pronounce, man. That's one for me.
And I take it Shyamalan.
Yeah. Let's move along, Shyamalan. Oh God.
Let's go.
So, and over the years, sparked many movies. This case, documentaries, even fictional movies after the real life person, Mr. Ken Rex McElroy.
Dang.
So this story it goes pretty deep. If you can imagine a real life Nelson from The Simpsons growing up from a school bully to a town bully, this is pretty much it.
Dang.
But that's Ken McElroy, and again, you can't think of Nelson, being more than just a bully to kids. You can kind of think of what he would kind of turn out to, but this guy takes the cake. He's nowhere close to what this dude gets into. So let's start about Ken. So let's start talking about Ken McElroy here. He was born June 1st, 1934, the 15th kid out of 16 total siblings.
Good Lord.
Yes.
Who can handle that?
15 kids?
It's basically like, Pa, you done farming? Yeah. What you want to do? Well, and then there it goes.
Why they gotta have that voice though?
I don't know, man. It's rural Missouri. That's why.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Say no more.
So, of course, being the 15th out of 16 siblings, he was not supervised from the age of 5 onward. He hung out with other local kids and other older siblings of his. And by the age of 15, he began to get on the townsfolk's radar of Skidmore. He began to break into cars, steal things from local stores, even steal small cattle from ranches, and was busy bullying kids his age and older.
Okay, I can see him stealing in the cars. I get that, but how you stealing cattle?
Yeah.
There's a lot of farmland over there. I don't know.
I see. As small as that city was, that town, nobody saw.
Well, you'll see what happens. But
Here we.
this
All right.
this guy is the bully of all bullies. Like I said, it sparked a lot of movies, basically.
Okay.
So he would slash tires to intimidate the parents of those kids that he bullied when they try to actually turn him in at school or try to tell his parents. He would openly threaten the parents. By this time, he was 6 feet tall, and no one was going to tell him anything. Yeah. The town of Skidmore had only one marshal, and the nearest police force was 20 minutes away. So they would respond to the calls from neighbors or upset townspeople, but they could never catch him in the act, and charges were never filed against him.
With one person in charge, yeah, that would be impossible.
Exactly, and the one person was pretty incompetent, as we'll go on to see.
Oh Lord.
Yep. And see, they had several town marshals, but this one, the one later on is really incompetent. He was literally known by this time to the people in Skidmore as the town asshole. Literally, that was his name.
What a nickname.
Yes. So his parents were up in age, and they didn't interfere with his doings and never helped the situation, and are pretty much a non-factor from this point out. So, no parents. What do you guys think of this guy so far?
So far, he's a jerk and a brat.
And somebody who didn't get any attention from his parents whatsoever, because you think at the number 15, they don't care about you.
Oh yeah.
They lost count after 10.
Oh,
How do they tell them apart?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Jaya, James, Jim, Bo. Like, I don't know.
Hezekiah.
Yeah, Hezekiah. Oh man.
Oh,
good times. Goodness. So as time wore on, we're going to get into some stuff where we can't laugh, but here's some of the stuff that he was getting into. Accusations of rape of other teenagers, and some women like just groping them openly as they walk through town.
Wow.
Yeah.
He don't care about anything.
No, this guy he's scaring adults. Like, adults don't want to challenge this guy.
Wow.
So he actually gets in a good paying job with the getting farming equipment, but he's also making money on the side by gambling, stealing, and extorting, and then reselling the stuff that he sold. So he always has wads of cash on him. He's banking the money that he does have in other places. So he's coming up at this time. And he is a womanizer beyond womanizing. So not only is he touching up on women, not only is he being accused of rape, not only is he forcing himself on women, he's apparently good with the ladies to have been married 3 times.
Wow.
And also, he by the age of 35, he's already fostered 15 kids himself through various women.
It runs in the family.
It sure does. But he would foster. Yeah. He would be spreading his seed all around that area of Missouri, basically.
Oh, for sure.
He was probably fostering his own kids.
He didn't even know it.
Yep. So, at the time of him being 35, he was married to a woman named Alice, who was 23 at the time, and he had 2 kids with her. He also had a girlfriend who was, can you guess the age?
18.
Nope.
I'll go with 16.
Nope, too high. She was 12 years old.
Stop.
12 years old.
Wait, what?
Stop.
Yep.
He was 20 what?
He was 35.
He was 35. His wife was 23, and his girlfriend was 12.
Wow.
He's a sicko. That's why he fostered kids.
Yep. And you'll see how sick this guy goes. So keep in mind all the stuff that I'm talking about that happens in town first off, and then the stuff that he's doing that people are openly seeing this. So it's not like he's hiding it. He's openly showing that he's got a girlfriend, parading her around town, even taking her to his favorite drinking establishment.
At 12-year-old?
At 12 years old, and nobody tells him anything.
Where are this child's parents?
Scared of him.
Oh, you'll hear about where her parents are. So we'll get into that in a second. So the good man that he made her become pregnant at the age of 14. This child, however, would be his 15th child. So I was a little ahead of myself. He had 14 before this. This newborn that was on its way was 15 for him.
Wow.
Wait, so they were his children?
They were his children, yes.
Oh
I said the
God.
wrong thing.
You said fosters. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, my fault. He didn't foster him. He actually, yeah, these were actually his kids.
Wow.
Like father, like son.
Mm-hmm. So this, he never took care of the other kids. As much money as he was making, whether he was selling, extorting, doing illegal things, he never took care of his kids except this one. He was vowing to take care of the little girl who was named Trina. Shortly after this, believe it or not, he moved Trina in with his wife Alice in the same home.
The girlfriend's child with his wife.
Yeah, so he moved the 14-year-old in with his wife and their kids.
Oh.
And dared her to say something.
Pretty much, yes.
Wow.
So there's not much known about Ken's house and how all three of them got together along with all the kids that were there. But the fact is that the police were called several times. And one month, Trina fled with Alice to Trina's step-parents' house. Because her real parents weren't around, so she had step-parents that basically took care of her. She went there to hide with Alice, but Ken would figure it out through whispers and I guess showing his brute force and intimidating people. People gave up where Trina and Alice were. So the good guy that Ken is showed up with a shotgun and pointed it at the step-parents and said, I don't take kindly to rejection, and this is embarrassing to me. And I know that your real daughter, I know what school she goes to. I know what classes she attends. I know what bus she rides. I'm going to go take her right now. Or you could just trade me my wife and my daughter and my child back. So,
wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So they didn't have a choice.
They didn't have a choice. So they basically walked them outside. Ken took them in his truck, his famous truck, by the way. He had a Ford, and he drove off back into town to where his house was. Now, the step-parents thought that this was over. Now, this was a Saturday. Sunday morning, when they went to church, like most God-fearing people do in Missouri, Ken returned with a shotgun, and the family dog, he blew it away, and then he proceeded to burn down the house and the farm.
What?
Yes.
All because they took their child in?
Yes. So
wow.
So then Ken returns home. He beats Alice, kicks her out of the house, and he goes to the Justice of the Peace that same day or on Monday and requests a divorce. He makes her sign the papers, and then just an hour later he bothers the Justice of the Peace again and marries Trina, the 14-year-old.
Wow.
And can you guess?
They didn't have laws about marrying her?
No, they didn't. And the Justice of the Peace was totally cool with it without a parent's sign off or signature. And can you guess why that, and this is what he put on the paper, can you guess the reason why he married Trina?
Because she had his daughter.
No.
She was pregnant again.
No. He felt that by marrying her, he couldn't be held accountable in the court of law since he knew about since he did the fire and stuff, that he didn't want to be accused of rape. That's why he married her.
Wow.
Yes. He was trying to get away with rape of a minor, basically.
Wow.
So what was the point of going over there, taking the wife out, giving her a beating just to go divorce her and throw her out?
This guy, he does a lot of things just per whim and just off the top of his head. I don't know why he would make an effort to get Alice back, but it was probably just for Trina,
Probably pride too.
And, yeah, that's the thing too. He was molding her the way he wanted to have her, and she was actually listening, unlike Alice and other wives. So he wanted her more than anything. I guess she was more submissive than any of his other women that he either raped or was with or married.
Mm.
So the police finally show up, and we're talking days later, and
Wow.
they arrest him. Now there's going to be a running thing that goes on with him, and that is the police failed to do anything right as far as holding him more than 24 hours despite any charges that he ever gets. Because he has a lawyer and he always has cash on him, and this one defense attorney from Kansas City is like the best in the area. He knows how to prolong court cases. He knows how to get guys on bond and out of jail, and he'll do this for Ken several times, including including this time where they place Trina in a foster home, and they tell her to stay there, and they set her up, and for her child too, who was just born at this time, they try to keep Ken away, but Ken is out in less than 24 hours thanks to Richard Gene McFadden, which is his famous defense attorney. The money was always there, and so money talks, and you know what else walks, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So this would... Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's crazy.
Yeah, and so guess what would happen when they actually would go to court for these things? Can you guess what Ken would do?
I would say he just was so bold when he admitted it.
Nope.
Okay.
What do you think, Gabby?
I'm gonna guess nothing even happened. They dropped everything because he was married to her.
No, they didn't drop it because of that. They dropped it because not only his lawyer is fantastic, but even he couldn't do what Ken did. Ken would find out where some of the jurors stayed, and he would drive to their house, stare into their window or outside their house with a shotgun and firing off shots into the air at all times of the day and night as intimidation. And then he would openly make it known in town and around with their neighbors that if they were to convict him, something bad would happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
So he was found innocent.
How do even the judge, even they're intimidated?
Yes. So, I mean,
wow.
Ridiculous.
This guy would be standing in front of their homes and businesses, staring and shouting and shooting the shotgun off randomly as a sign of intimidation. And again, the police and marshals were called, and the marshal would come and say, "Hey, Ken, could you stop doing that?" And then Ken would be like, "No." And then he'd be like, "All right, then, have a good night," and then just drive off. Wouldn't do nothing.
Everybody had that voice time.
Yeah, pretty much. They'd just be like, "All right." That's it.
Dude is a real life Nephilim.
This guy is running the town.
He is.
Nephilim.
He is. And these people were witnessing these actions. And they would tell police, and the police would be like, it's getting a little late to shoot off that gun. And then, because the marshal came by and told you to stop. And he's like, "Get the F out of my face." And they're like, "All right, then. You know where it is a good area around here to get some coffee at this time of night?" And then they just drive away. So
Just so as polite as can be, huh?
yeah, like they didn't want to push this guy. They were so scared of him.
Jesus, man! Imagine being able to do pretty much whatever the heck you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, check this out too. So people felt trapped as he would shoot the shotguns off at all times of night. He would knock over their mailboxes, break their fences. He would put the mailboxes he wouldn't break or beat up with a bat. He would actually put rattlesnakes in there as a joke, so that they open up and there's a rattlesnake in there with their mail. Yeah, so he was just openly threatening people left and right, and no one was doing anything. So the people that were going to testify retracted their statements all of a sudden. So he kept getting away just over and over.
So nobody's gonna testify now.
Yeah, nobody's gonna testify. They're too damn scared.
They were like, "So Mr. Williams, well, their last name wasn't Williams, Mr. Zachary. So are you here to say what you said about Mr.
McElroy.
Montgomery. Never mind.
Yeah.
I can't mind. And
Yeah.
he's all staring at it.
Yeah, he's all like, he's rubbing his finger through his neck like, you're next. You know?
Dang, this dude, yeah, he's pretty much getting away with anything.
Yep. And then just a couple weeks later, after the testimony and he got acquitted of all charges, he went outside to the foster home and threatened the foster parents that were keeping Trina, and he took her back. And they called the cops, and the cops didn't do nothing either. That's obviously kidnapping, breaking the law, and the cops didn't do anything. They wouldn't even show up to Ken's house.
So what exactly were they supposed to do, though, when they allow him to marry her?
I don't even know. I mean, this feels like 1950s Mayberry, you know, like for the Andy Griffith Show. Instead, it's 1981, and they're just not doing a damn thing about it. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's close to the 80s. It's actually late 70s at this time. My bad. It's like late 70s.
Wow.
So.
But yeah, I mean, what really? It just doesn't make sense that their laws would allow him to marry her, but then they're going to take her away and put her in a foster home. It's like, is she even a kid at this point?
Nope.
I think they felt that maybe the justice would prove it, and then they'd be able to put him behind jail. But even then, that didn't work. And when they figured out like nothing's working, the cops, the marshal, no one's stepping up to the plate, they're just like, screw it. You know what I mean? But they had good intentions. It just didn't work out. So by this time, years went on. Ken continued to beat people, extort, steal, and intimidate with no consequences one day. In 1976, however, while trying to extort a local farmer for some of his goods, Ken was warned to leave the farmer's property. Ken said, F you.
What?
Yeah, the farmer actually stood up to him. Ken said, F you, I am not going anywhere. I want your cattle and I want your goods, and this belongs to me. The farmer stood his ground. Ken didn't like this and pulled out a shotgun and put it to the farmer's face, saying, I'm going to blow you away. The farmer said, no, you're not. But then he saw Ken's finger on the trigger. He moved his head slightly to when then Ken shot through the side, grazed the neck of the farmer, and then he shot him in the chest.
Oh.
So it was a double barrel shotgun. He shot first, and then he just recocked it real quick and then shot him in the chest. The farmer went flying backwards 5 feet. And then Ken took off. Surprisingly, he didn't die.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm serious. The farmer didn't die.
What? Taking a point blank shot to the chest with a shotty?
Yep. Didn't die. The charges were eventually filed against Ken, and he was arrested that evening with intent to murder. So the police were like, all right, we got this guy. You know, we finally got him. They came in from the other towns. They rounded up a posse. They dragged him into court. And Ken was out in the morning. So the farmer was still in surgery at this moment, and Ken was already back on the streets.
Wow.
Of course he was. I didn't expect him to be held there. Yeah,
exactly. So as the farmer is recouping at his house a couple days later, out of the hospital, and he made it out of intensive care somehow. No real damage was done. I don't know what happened, if it was buckshot or whatever, but the fact he was at home resting with his wife taking care of him, he should have been able to sleep and just wait till the court date or recoup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ken said,
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, you're right. Ken decided to do 100 nights in a row until the trial began, of driving and making donuts in the man's yard, running down his crops with his truck, shooting off his shotgun at all times of the day and night, throwing trash and scrap into his property, trying to intimidate the farmer. And the marshal was called and never showed up.
Oh, of course.
Oh, the marshal's scared of him too.
Yes, so that was 100 days.
This dude is a real life bully.
He's like, fend for yourself.
Yeah. He's like, oh, that's that Ken guy, huh? I got something to do here. You called 912. You want 911.
Dang, this dude's a real life bully, man. Straight up.
Yep. So, how do you think he beats the charges this time?
He showed up to court with a gun and threatened everybody.
Now, if they didn't arrest him for that, I wouldn't. Jeez, please.
I'm gonna guess the farmer ended up being intimidated and decided, I'm gonna live. Let's drop all this.
Actually, he really wanted to press charges, but since there was no other witnesses that were there at the time, Ken enlisted two of his so-called friends, who actually paid them, to testify that he was in another county with them all day and could not have been there at the time of the shooting.
Wow.
Yes. So with no one else to present backup for the farmer, the charges were then dropped and all charges acquitted. Yes.
So he's pretty much getting away with anything he wanted to do.
Pretty much. He's doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants. So he's already racked up 20 years of rap sheets of attempted murder, several rapes, assaults, kidnapping, arson, extortion, theft, terroristic threats on people and their businesses. The townspeople were utterly scared of this man and just basically told each other, man, we could be next. We just got to stay the hell away from him. You know, like if he comes down the street, we're on the other side of the street. We're not looking at him. Nothing.
Yep.
So fast forward to the incident that broke the camel's back. This is April of 1980, where a piece of candy sparked a nasty incident.
Ooh.
Yes.
Candy?
Talk to me, Todd.
So check this out. There was a local grocery store in the heart of Skidmore in the downtown area, which at this time was the most vibrant place in the town.
Okay.
At this time, Skidmore, it was owned by the Bowenkamps. It was owned by Bo, of course. Bo Bowenkamp. And
Bo.
and his wife Lois and a daughter Joyce.
Yeah, he should be in cartoons or something.
I know, right?
I love the Missouri accent, right?
I know, I've got that one on point.
You even speak like that?
I know, right?
I don't think he did his homework first.
Probably not, but that's as close as you guys are gonna get, okay? So one day a little girl came in the store, and Lois, the wife, was watching her at the counter, but she put candy in her pocket. So before the little girl stepped out of the store, the Lois came over to her and grabbed her by the hand and said, "I saw you stealing, girl." And so she read a little scripture to her and said stealing was bad and to not do that. And she actually let her keep the piece of candy. So you would think that would be the end of the story, right?
You would think that.
The problem is that child belonged to Ken and Trina. It was
I
their
imagined.
Yeah, it was their little daughter. And the little daughter ran all the way home like a little piggy. And 15 minutes later, I don't know why I'm fat shaming a little child, I'm sorry. So 15 minutes later, Trina showed up yelling at the family. And she was going ape, you know what. She would curse all of them out in the middle of the store and said, she left. And then all of a sudden a guy came in and he's like, hey, Bo, you better get some cover cause Mr. Ken McElroy, he's coming. You're going to meet Mr. Ken. He ain't too happy. And he ran out the store. So 2 minutes later, after the local was, all flustered and warning Mr. Bo of Ken came in with a double barrel shotgun and a knife. And he just stood there with an evil look on his face and a smirk. And he was staring at Bo. The little daughter, Lois's daughter, Joyce ran behind the counter. And then Trina got in in the mom's face and was just yelling at her. Lois, just yelling at her, telling her where she could stick it and everything. She was just going off and said, yes.
She is no different than Ken.
Yeah, he's groomed her big time.
He groomed her.
Yep. So Bo just stared, and then he just calmly walked out. Trina stopped yelling, and they both left.
Mm-hmm.
But Bo had a real sinking feeling in his gut. He knew that the past shooting incident a couple years back with a farmer and the rest of the issues that scared the town, he knew that he just started a feud with Ken without even trying.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew that they were on a path of some sort of fight or showdown. So he was right about both in all of those incidences, because Ken and Trina would start showing up at the Bowenkamp's residence with a shotgun, staring into the house, shooting at their cattle, almost hitting them, shooting at their cars, breaking their signs, their fences. He would even be on their front yard to where Bo couldn't keep up his garden that him and his wife enjoyed. This went on. Can you guess how long this went on for, by the way?
I'm going to say 2 months.
What do you think, Gabby?
I'm gonna say 6.
Gabby's closer. This went on from April of 1980 till July of 1980.
Get out.
Yeah, over a freaking piece of candy.
4 months?
Over a little lecture they gave a child? Jesus.
Yes.
Wow.
So then in July, Ken showed up at the store one day in late July, and him and Bo got into another one of the arguments. Ken pulled his shotgun on Bo. Bo had enough and said, "You're not going to shoot me." And Ken then pulled the trigger at the same time and shot him in the stomach. So Bo went down to one knee and fled the scene. Ken thought he killed him and took off. But then townsfolk actually saw Ken. There was plenty of witnesses saw Ken shoot Bo in the stomach, and they rushed Bo to the hospital. And had they not done that, they wouldn't have saved his life. So they actually saved his life. He was able to get the surgery, and he once again was pointed out by the townspeople. Once again, the police came from other agencies. Once again, he was arrested. Once again, he was posting bail in less than 6 hours.
Wow. Once again, the police failed.
Yes. And so check this out. So this, he was at the D&G bar, which is his favorite bar in downtown. And while Bo was in surgery and he was bonded out, he was telling people in the bar, which had about at least 10 residents in it at the time, that as soon as Bo comes out of the hospital, I'm finishing the job.
Wow.
Yes. So people around town were really starting to talk and were getting tired of this. And, they were tired of all the problems that Ken was starting. So there was a young marshal at this time that took over by the name of Dave, was Dave Dunbar, who was 24 at the time.
Let's go, Dave Dunbar.
So the residents, including the towns, like, the high, the females are always on the school board and all that. They went to Ken or to Dave and said, "Please, Dave, talk to Ken. Do what's right." So Dave showed up, and he's 24, but he looks 13. He with a mustache, if you've seen the video. And he came up to Ken and he was like, "Hey, Mr. McElroy, I would like you to please stop doing what you're doing."
Stop it, Todd.
So
Stop it, Todd.
So Ken put a shotgun to the marshal's face, and he said, "You say what now, boy?" And then Dave said, "I would just like to let you know that I am resigning as active marshal." And right there on the spot, he resigned.
What?
Yeah, he did.
I thought you was just joking.
No, he did. He resigned right then and there.
Get out.
Yes, the 24-year-old would later take a job as a cable guy 2 weeks later.
That makes sense.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So then the townspeople actually petitioned the local police department 20 minutes away again to please do something about Ken. And here is the actual quote. This is an actual quote from a sheriff's police officer, or whatever you want to call him, a deputy, whatever, right?
Okay.
This is the actual quote.
Okay.
I'm not BSing you at all. Like I filled in some blanks and was joking around about some, but this is the actual quote. So in response to the female saying, "We need you to do something. People are, someone's gonna die. He's done so much. Blah blah blah." The sheriff deputy says, "If you decide to shoot him, kindly call us in a manner that where when we go to pick up the body, it doesn't smell too much."
Are you serious?
Exactly. So they said, well, if you're going to fence to kill him, well, just don't let him sit in the sun too long.
So he don't burst.
Pretty much, you have the go. You take care of it yourself.
Take care of it yourself.
Pretty much. They were like, well, we don't want to do it, but you guys can.
For free.
Yes.
I'm surprised that at this point, the town didn't come together to kill him. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you were on it. Let's get to what happens. So he was once again found innocent in the summer of 1981 on the secondary assault, the murder charges, everything. So after the trial, Ken was in his favorite bar again, but this time with a shotgun and a bayonet attached to it. He said that he's going to go on a rampage on the Bowen camps. He had Trina with him in the bar, who again is still not 18 by this time. So she can't even, she's not supposed to be in the bar during the daytime, let alone drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And she's probably got one baby hooked up to one boob and one to the other, and with a beer in her, like drinking, or Ken's giving her a beer or something,
cigarette somewhere in there.
Cigarettes, yeah, exactly. So he again says, "I can't wait to finish off Bo." Bo doesn't know what's coming to him. So that we go to July 10th, 1981, because that's when it was, and when a date is presented, someone dies. At the town's American Legion, which is usually where all the old farts go, the old veterans, and the bingo hall and whatnot, there was 30 residents in attendance, almost 40. The topic of the meeting was to figure out what to do about Ken. Nothing's worked. Years of intimidation. This guy's got to be run out of town. So the sheriff came in there, and he was there, and he said, "You know what? How about you guys put together a neighborhood watch? Or what about we all get together with some torches and we kindly get him out of town?"
I'm hoping they did number 2.
Well, this just enraged the people. And they said, again, you're putting this all on us. You guys can't do your job. You're too scared. He's like, "Well, I've done all I can. I got to get back to my county." And so he takes off.
Dang, just like that?
Just like that. And so about 35 minutes go by. They're still arguing in the town hall meeting in the little American Legion. And all of a sudden, someone comes indoors, and I think it's that one guy that tipped off the Bowen camps, because he came in running, can barely breathe, and he's like, "Hey, yo, Ken is over at the D&G bar, and he's talking about killing Bo." And then the people are like,
"Still want Bo?"
Yeah. "He's still going to kill Bo." And then the rest of them are like, "Hey, he's going to kill Bo. What do we do?" And then, this sounds like Sylvester Stallone's there, He's like, "Hey,
Olivia.
Yeah, you got to do something." Yeah. "You can't let this guy just wreck everything," So
How they go from the Missouri?
I don't know, man. Sylvester Stallone was down. I don't know.
Adrian.
Yeah. So
What's with your guys' voices today?
I don't know, man. So at this time, the frustration, just the sheriff leaving, people are just done. They're over it. So about 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, Ken starts walking out to his famous Ford truck with his shotgun and the bayonet. He's got Trina on one side, but she doesn't have no kids. I was just exaggerating with the kids. They actually left the kids at home to fend for themselves. But they both get in the truck, and they're sitting in the truck, and then all of a sudden, pop, 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 pop. And then all of a sudden, as Ken revved the engine, he was shot in the back of the head twice and in the back 3 times. His foot went down on the accelerator. The truck was in neutral. He was in the process of shifting into to drive. So the wheels are spinning. So picture a truck on the side of the road next to a bar. The wheels are spinning. The glass is all shattered out. And these guys are good shots because it was 3 different guns, possibly 2. It's never been confirmed, but it was more than one gun or a bullet or caliber fired. And then someone kindly walks up to the passenger side, an older gentleman, and says, "Hey, come on now, Trina. This is nothing for you young ones to see right here. Why don't you just go sit down here on the curb?" So he sits Trina down as she's screaming bloody murder. And the entire street comes to a stop. There's over 30 to 40 people on the street witnessing this. And as fast as it happened, it was over. Everyone turned around and walked away.
Wow.
Leaving Trina sitting on the curb, the truck still screaming in acceleration, and Ken slumped over in the truck, dead as a doornail.
Wow.
What's the song? He had it coming.
Yes.
He had it coming.
He definitely had it coming. They unloaded on him.
They sure did. And good shot because she wasn't even hit. Not even with glass.
That's a really good shot.
So I'm sorry, but if I was in that town at that time, I would have totally been cool with let's go kill him, because I don't think I could have. That's scary. A person controlling a whole town?
Yes. Evil.
Wow.
Evil upon evil. So
he was.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll say he was his own dictator.
He sure was. He sure was. And so the sheriffs and police from other agencies now came because it was a murder. Someone called it in, and they came from 2 or 3 different agencies, including the state police, the Missouri State Police. They came in magically. The ones who probably could have stopped all this madness, they finally come in when there's a murder.
When it's the one bullying everybody.
Yep, and they arrived to the scene to find an empty ghost town with just, once again, Trina crying on the side of the road, the truck still in neutral, accelerator still going, not a soul to be found on the street anywhere. The police tried investigating everyone in the town and weren't getting anywhere, and they called the FBI in the next month. 40 residents were continually interrogated by police and several other agencies, and other residents that lived that knew any kind of thing about Ken were interviewed as far as 2 towns over, none of them naming anyone that was on the trigger. And there was multiple triggers, and a lot of people would just come and say, hey, you know what, there was a lot of people there, but I have no clue who took the shot. And everyone was accountable and putting themselves at the crime scene, but no one was taking credit, and they could not find any bullets because taking 25 minutes to get there, any bullets that were there, or at least the shell casings or any kind of fingerprints, were wiped away. They just knew it was 2 caliber bullets that were found inside his body, but the shell casings and all that stuff was taken.
Wow.
Yes. So
Dang.
And then there's a really good quote that came from a resident who was in her 60s at the time. So I'm gonna do my best 60s impersonation of a female resident in the town of
Get your popcorn ready, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, here we go. So when the police officer, or actually the reporter, asked her, because I got this from one of the videos, asked her, okay, what was your thoughts on Ken? Like, why would the town do this? And then her direct quote was, "That man just needed a killing, I guess. I reckon he just needed to be killed. Killed him. What's killed him?
Killed it.
He needed to be killed him.
Had to be killed it.
I reckon."
Now I know what that means.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would have been the reporter. I'm like, do you guys want to retape that? You might, can I offer some advice? Just say what goes around comes around. She'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Fancy.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So
you leave them people alone.
So nobody was ever charged, and
I believe it.
Trina wound up suing the city, the sheriffs, and the mayor for $6 million. Now, how much do you think she recovered out of that $6 million?
$6 million. I'm gonna say probably $1 million.
What do you think, Abby?
I'm gonna go with like 100,000.
Way less. She could probably put. She could probably pay for half of like a brand new car. 17,000. That's all she got.
Mm.
Yes.
What the heck? She's just trying to take advantage of the situation. I cannot. No, I don't believe that she actually loved that horrible man.
No way.
I don't know. A lot of people said she was brainwashed, but hey.
Yeah, but then again, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think it was love. I think it was more fear. But she was brainwashed into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, we don't usually leave unsolved mysteries on this show. We usually have an ending. We usually try to have like some sort of finality. The finality is Ken got his, but to this day, nearly 40 years later, the case is still active and it's unsolved.
Wow.
Yes.
So they never closed it?
They never closed it.
They never closed it, and there's still an active investigation on who was the shooter or shooters that killed him. And because of this, the town in downtown, remember how I said it's dwindled in population? The town used to be very talkative. People don't talk. It's hush hush, and the downtown area, which used to be the most vibrant area of the town, is like all boarded up. It's like sort of a ghost town. There's nothing really going down. It's just people live in the surrounding areas around the town, and everyone, it's just this eerie part that people think the town has suffered because of they're hiding the secret of murders or murderers, and they think it's karma, basically. So unless the final thought on this for me is, or the final thing to say on this one is, unless someone has a dying declaration, that's never going to be solved. The people have covered for each other over the years.
As you know what, as they should. Why? I don't think it'd be fair that they have consequences for this when he never had one single consequence for all of his actions.
Agreed.
You know what? That's probably the best thing said tonight. I mean, that's a perfect way to sum it up. You know, it's just I know it's probably eating at a few people, but you know, nobody wants to get in that mob mentality again, you know? So that's the story of Ken McElroy in Skidmore, Missouri.
Wow. I would go to my deathbed with the secret too.
Yep.
See, you would have been judge castration though, Gabby. You would have went right where it counts. You'd been like, you may have had 15, but you ain't having one more child.
You ain't having one more child. The street justice came through on this one.
Yeah, it did. But we've had a lot of bad like policing on these stories, you know, like where it's like, what were the police thinking? They were outright intimidated, and I think this is the worst form of policing we've seen so far. It's like laughable almost.
No,
yeah, I don't think we've ever heard that. Somebody on the spot coming up to the subject and saying, "I resign."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
first for everything.
He turned in his badge and is like, "Hey, anybody want HBO?" Went straight to cable.
Dang.
That's sad.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, this was terrible. And that I've seen some documentaries where a guy went into the town, and they ain't lying, man. That town today is dead as a doornail, man. And he tried to interview local people, and not since about 1984 has anyone talked to the media at all. Everyone's just hush hush. They won't say anything, and they try to ask them, and they just slam the door in your face.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. They're like, we're not trying to relive that. Go away.
Yeah, exactly.
He's dead now.
Yeah.
The good news, nobody died in his hands.
That is good news.
Yes.
But the bad news is now they're all sad and miserable because nobody can say a thing.
Well, they are in Missouri.
Yep.
Went over your head, Doc.
Oh wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
But she said they're all miserable, and I said, well, they are in Missouri.
Oh, yeah. They're in the. I mean, look, to our Missouri listeners, it's beautiful. We know that. But this part of town, if you guys go up there, there's not much to it. So yes, they are miserable in Skidmore. It's real close to being called Skidmark, Missouri. You know, It's not really
Skidmore, Missouri.
yeah, it's not really a fabulous place to go. Let's just put it to you. I mean, literally, they're known for Ken McElroy and for the woman that we talked about, Miss Montgomery, who took the baby from another woman's stomach.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they're known for.
Wow.
That's sad.
Yep.
I would have moved away from there.
Yeah, exactly. I would have like changed the name or did something, you know, like I don't know.
He said change the name.
No, I'd be like, that's the past. Let's go.
Yep.
Move along.
Yeah.
I agree.
Move along, Missouri. There you go.
I agree.
So yeah, any final thoughts on this one?
I just like the fact that the streets took care of justice.
I'm just disappointed in the police.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
So I don't blame the people.
True. And then, you know,
Yeah.
it's just crazy. They still don't.